All right, it's Monday, May 1st. This is an end of the day SPY recap, first day of the new month. Today we end up with a 2-up green bar that hasn't reached our bigger picture targets yet, but ends up with a bit of a shooter look to it towards the end of the day. And this is really pretty normal price behavior, given that we're at short-term exhaustion risk a little bit. We've had 2 big green days to the upside. So even after this green day, expect the high to be taken out. The question is, you're going to get a strong follow through or a little bit of a pause action given your short-term exhaustion. And today it looks like we're pausing a little bit. In the big picture, though, we have the weekly hammer bar from last week that projects up at least to that 418 kind of 37 area, and then beyond that there are other targets above. We might just have to get a little bit of a pullback first before we head up there. The only way we're going to really fail at this point is to come, now that we took out the high of the previous week, if we can get all the way down to the midpoint of the prior week. In other words, start eating into this selling tail or this buying tail a little bit, then we might get an outside bar to the downside. Other than that, any pullback has to be viewed as, waiting for patient opportunities for buy signals when structure kind of unfolds to buy. Given that it's a shooter bar coming into tomorrow, we have a little fair value gap between the high of this bar and low of this bar. I could see a little pullback happening. You can play short trades possibly tomorrow and see if it develops into something bigger. It would really have to take out almost these, the midpoint of this whole week. So somewhere down here, it's really gonna have to follow through strong. If we can get some pullbacks that don't seem to follow through strong, then it's gonna set up great new buying opportunities to hit our green line targets, and even up above that, we have that broadening action target in the 430s if we're gonna continue higher. But need a little digestion today, so that's what kind of unfolded. In terms of structure, you had the buy right out of the gates, going above first 15-minute high. If you want to call this a pullback or a pause, whatever it is, then you had another push up. So there was an opportunity for some small gains here. This little pullback took out some stops, but you kind of held the midway point of the first bar, and then you went up, and actually, if you want to call that a 1-2 push up, fine, or if you want to call that was the only move on the day that you were interested in playing to the upside, that's fine. And then once it took out this high at exhaustion risk, again, never surprising. You had an orderly pullback at this point. Was it going to make another push up? Typically at 1, 2, this would be the third. You're not going to get those 4 pushes up. So it's not surprising then you get that reversal after some exhaustion risk in this type of price action early. We close the day right here, kind of near the open. So this yellow line becomes an important level to monitor. It's the open of the week, the open of the month. So if we get below there tomorrow, like I said, we'll be red temporarily in the short run. Maybe that can turn into something bigger, so you'll play the short side. But then anything that unfolds down here or doesn't unfold down here and continues higher, and you stay above that yellow line, you're above the open of the month, and your continuity's back to the upside to start going towards this target and some higher targets. So we'll see what unfolds. But today, good opportunity. A lot of stocks were down, quite frankly. There were a couple like NVIDIA that were up nicely from the start. So you just had to kind of watch it. But again, not surprising when you have short-term exhaustion risk that you kind of just follow through a little bit to the upside and then pause a little bit. So we'll see what unfolds for the rest of the week. Monitor the key yellow line here. That's the open as kind of our reference. See if we could take out the midpoint of the prior week. If we head down there and can't, then that sets up a pretty strong, buy signal maybe in the middle of the week or something like that. Or maybe we get it tomorrow. Who knows? But, we're still looking higher in the bigger picture until proven otherwise, until this weekly chart really reverses in some way. And for the only way for that to reverse right now, given the start to the week, is to take out, since we took out the high of the last week, is to take out the midpoint of that week. So if we can't do that, then we're still sticking to the upside.